The most difficult part of animation is making it look realistic. Luckily, there are 12 simple principles of animation that allow you to bring your cartoon to life. Each one is used for a different purpose using different tools, and all the principles are essential for giving your animation lifelike qualities and that classic cartoon appeal. Squash and stretch gives a character mass and volume, such as squishing a ball as it bounces, or as a character makes facial expressions or talks. The most common way to do this is to use the free transform tool in Flash to flatten or stretch an object as it moves. Anticipation is the movement before the action, such as how someone would wind up before a punch or a golfer's backswing. It is extremely important as a sort of exaggeration, and there are two good ways to do this: frame by frame for more specific movements, or a bit of squash and stretch for broader, smaller ones. Staging is the use of poses and expressions to communicate the focus of the scene. This is made clear with the use of long, medium, and close-up shots. Generally, this can be done simply by making an object larger and exaggerating their features to make the mood obvious. Straight ahead and pose-to-pose animation is the difference between the two progressive animation styles. The former is the animation of a character with no clear final pose, done by simply animating by frame, often used in fast-paced sequences. The latter is the animation from one pose to the next, commonly smoother and more frequently used.
Follow-through and overlapping action is once a character moves a part, the rest of its body catches up with it, often embodied using simple squash and stretch of different layers. Overlapping action is when the character switches directions, but their hair or clothing is still moving forward, and this effect is created by using the same methods as follow-through. Slow out and slow in is one way of making animation more efficient and realistic. It is when there are more frames near to start and finish keyframes, and less during the action in the middle. Arcs are important because nothing in real life moves in a true straight line, from swinging arms to thrown objects. There will always be forces influencing their movement, arcing their path. The most effective way to do this is by using a guide layer with tweens and simple, keeping arcs in mind as you animate. Secondary action is the way a primary movement will affect every secondary movement, such as arms swinging as a person walks or head bouncing with each step, and is just the movement of different layers making up one thing.
Frames in a movement. For example, more frames makes for smoother, slower movement, and less frames makes for choppier and faster movement. Exaggeration is what differentiates cartoons from real life. It is an exaggeration of features and movement to compensate for the lack of dimensional perception. An easy way to make this effect happen is to enlarge the important characteristics or to add extra detail when the shot is closer. Solid drawing is the use of two-dimensional drawing tools to create an illusion of three dimensions, such as shading and adding frames. Appeal is the personality of a character in an animation that carries with them throughout the story. It is characterized by their appearance and their words, among other things, and this can be expressed by the art and the way that one decides to animate the character. Now that you've seen the 12 principles in action, your understanding of the way cartoons replicate real life should have expanded, just as your skills regarding Flash have. Thanks for watching.